Good morning, students. We have already completed Unit 1 under the heading Diversity of Living World. In this, I have covered 4 topics: the living world, biological classification, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Let us move to second unit. The heading of this unit is Structural Organization in Plants and Structural Organization in Animals. Most of the part is deleted for final exam, but the students studying for NEET exam must follow each and every point included in this entire unit. So considering that, I will be highlighting important points considering NEET exam, the CET exam and our annual exam. Let us begin with the first topic, morphology of flowering plants. You already know morphology is study of external features of an organism. Here, the flowering plants are considered. You already know that flowering plants, which are included in division Gymnospermae. A normal plant body under Angiospermae, Angiospermae includes flowering plants. A typical plant body, you take example as mustard plant, Brassica jancea. This typical plant body is showing 2 systems. The axis which is below soil we call root system, and the axis above soil growing towards light is called shoot system. In this session, let us begin with the root system. A seed, which is the product of sexual reproduction in flowering plant, having embryonic parts, radicle, plumule and cotyledons. The tiny radicle on germination of the seed start growing towards soil, hence we call positively geotropic. It grow away from the light, so we call negatively phototropic. And this radicle grow continuously, gives primary root. Primary root produce the branches called secondary root. Secondary root produce the branches called tertiary root, and fine branches are root hairs. Now, this is continuously penetrating root system derived from radicle. Radicle retains as primary root with branches as secondary, tertiary roots with root hairs. This root system is said to be tap root system. It is common in all dicotyledonous plants, as it gives more anchorage for perennial plants and the absorption and conduction capacity is always maximum. Moving to the second type of the root. In all monocotyledonous plants like grass, maize, coconut, the radicle grow down, which is short-lived. It will not persist as a primary root. This short-lived radicle will die. And from the base of the stem, numerous branches will arise. These are superficial. Here not possible to differentiate as primary, secondary, tertiary roots. We can see the profuse branching superficially found with the less absorption and conduction capacity. This root system is said to be fibrous root system. Taproot system, fibrous root system, both are true root systems as they are developing from the radicle, which is embryonic root present in the seed. There is one more root system. In most of the plants, the vegetative parts propagates. Propagation is a kind of asexual reproduction. Leaf base, nodes of the stem will produce the roots for several purposes. Such roots are not developing from the radicle, hence these are basically false roots. And scientifically we call such roots are adventitious roots. So I already told you 3 types of roots: tap roots, fibrous roots and adventitious roots. Try to remember the difference. Take a typical root now. It shows 5 regions. The tip of the root is very delicate and it is protected by unicellular root cap. it secretes mucilage. It is a sticky fluid. So when the roots start growing below the soil, this mucilage secreted by the root cap will keep the root in protected condition, and it lubricates the path as the root starts growing and penetrating down the soil layers. No pathogens can enter through this mucilaginous coat, so it is also having a defensive role. Just above the root cap, the region of meristematic activity. The cells which are rapidly dividing to increase the number of cells are called as meristematic cells. So above the root cap, we can see the region of meristematic cells. Above that, it is region of elongation. Every newly dividing cell elongates in length and the width. Here, the growth rate is maximum. And above that, region of maturation, where the elongated cells start performing the functions. And you know, the function of the root is to provide anchorage, to absorb water with mineral salts and conduct the same towards the shoot system. So for absorption, the elongated cells, they produce unicellular root hairs. They have ability to carry that water towards the well differentiated xylem tissue. So that xylem will carry that water in ascending order away from the gravity. So this is the region of maturation. Above that, the region of conduction, where vascular tissues are very well developed, forming the central axis of the plant body. With this, I already completed the regions of the root. Moving further, apart from anchorage, absorption and conduction, most of the plants will have modified roots. I'll just give a list of modification in the roots. The tap roots modified for food storage. So main purpose is to store the food for perennation so that they will propagate further. Based on the shape of these stored roots, there are three names given. Fusiform root found in the radish, whose middle part is swollen and both the ends are tapering. Napiform root of beetroot, whose upper region is swollen and the lower portion is tapering. Cone-like conical root of carrot, whose the entire root appear like a cone. So I told you, 3 tap roots modified for food storage. Coming to adventitious roots, modified for mechanical support. Imagine the banyan tree. The lateral stem branches will give rise roots which grow towards the soil. These are the prop roots. As banyan tree is growing huge, they need a lot of support, and prop roots are giving mechanical support. Maize, sugarcane, jawar, if you see the stem of these plants, the basal node is producing the lateral roots. These are adventitious, known as stilt roots, to provide support for unbranched delicate stem. If you see the climber of a betel vine or a money plant, every node producing the climbing roots, they help in adsorption. Adsorption in the sense attachment to the substratum. So these are 3 mechanical roots but adventitious in nature. Moving further, the roots in mangroves. Mangroves are the plants which are growing in saline region where soil layer is covered, where sand or soil is covered by the sea water. Rhizophora avicennia, these are the examples. They will produce aerial roots because there is lack of dissolved oxygen there. So these aerial roots which grow above the water have minute openings called as pneumatophores, which will help in gaseous exchange. If you see the epiphytes, the small plants growing on the other tree, they take support and they'll have hanging roots called clinging roots. These roots will have the velamen tissue. These are soft tissue will absorb moisture night time and early morning and condense that absorbed water in the form of droplets and make it available for photosynthesis. A chlorophyllous plant like Cuscuta, which is appear like yellow wire, it twin around the host plant Clerodendron and it produce the sucking roots called Hosteria. These are known as parasitic roots. They just penetrate deep inside xylem and phloem of the host and absorb everything, because this Cuscuta, being a chlorophyllous without chlorophyll, can take the food which is prepared from the host body. With this, I have introduced you the root system of flowering plant. Thank you very much.